I wanted to elaborate on one of the things you talked about that we need to reflect on. And it's this concept of thing that you are good at. And interestingly enough, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday who was a part of the program. And, I had this sense that I wanted to always do more for my members. And what happened is she was up for renewal on her membership. And then the first thing I told her is like, by the way, we had a short conversation and she was telling me about all the transformation she had throughout the year by being in the program. And I said, by the way, I know your renewal is due in 7 days, but I want to let you know you will not be charged because I'm letting a lot of people experience this new membership platform and you won't need to pay for it. And the reason I was doing that is because obviously I'm making a lot of changes and I want to make sure that I'm always offering more value than what I ask in return. And there was a moment where she's like, oh, well, I was looking forward to pay it because I got so much value out of being in this program that I was just excited to renew the membership. And of course, as part of me was like, oh, damn, did I just miss an opportunity? But I knew there was an alignment thing going on. But the reason I bring this up is because sometimes you don't realize what you're actually good at and what value it provides for others. What are some of the things you can do to kind of hone in on understanding what is it that I'm actually good at that might be worth thinking about or taking action on?
I think that maybe the idea of saying what you're good at, I think that might be the wrong thing to say now that I'm thinking about it. Because being good at something is competency, and competency only comes after extensive, deliberate practice and experience, right? But I think that what people should be zoning in more is what are nature of things that I like to do that I don't get tired of doing. If you make me sit on a spreadsheet, I think I would only have 2 hours and then I would check out. If you make me do this, like what we're doing, for 2 days straight, I would not really get tired. Am I good at it? That's highly subjective. That means practice. So I'm looking at people and saying, hey, find something that, in all honesty, that is something that you would not get tired of doing, and you're willing to exert the effort, the time, spend for the learning, spend for the right teachers, to get really competent at that thing, and then you have something. Because now you have an insatiable amount of energy that you've also built into a competency. I think that might be a more appropriate answer to that question. But that starts with accepting first that you are not good, that you should be letting go of a lot of things that you think are cool. Like, for example, everybody online is like, oh, you should learn copywriting, or you should learn this, or you should learn to be a coder, or whatever.
High ticket closers, come on.
High ticket, yeah. It's like that's what they're doing, right? That they're teaching you learn this skill. And my thought pattern now is like, I've seen enough people to see that that's actually a terrible idea. It didn't help them. I think you should understand what they're doing, but you should zone in on what you can be good at better than everybody else, because you will always have the energy to do it. And the idea that, hey, Jason, you can talk and zone in on companies' processes for a whole day and not get tired. That means there is no way for me to get better at you at that over time, because you will not get tired learning about it.
Oh man.
Even if I have that background and you don't, because you are obsessed with it and I am not.
It's so funny because, I have my partner actually is the one who's reinforcing healthy boundaries in my work-life balance. If I didn't have my romantic partner, which I do prioritize, so I want to spend time with her, quality time with her. And so that is what gets me out of the office. But like, I'm excited when I wake up. I want to see the messages of what's going on. I want to get data and optimize and create. And then, like, for example, today is a Wednesday and I have a night shift. So I have 1 day a week that I do night shift. I work till midnight and I start at 7 a.m. And I get home and I have a smile and I'm excited, and so when you speak about this thing that gives you energy, this has been a big shift that happened to me in July. And, when I spoke about a lot of the things I'm shifting in my own organization is when I started finding the things and And tuning into that, I started having revenue opportunities come in so much faster, so much quicker. And then I was realizing how much value I can deliver because I'm excited about it, as opposed to what do they call it? Pulling teeth to get things done.
Yeah, but I have to say that I'm also very humbled by this right now because it is. I mean, my background, and I'm the person who gets competent at almost anything that I put my mind into. Super multifaceted, from technology to everything else. But I had to accept to see that, you know what? Just because I can do these things doesn't mean I should. And I have to accept that some of the things that I think and I logically know in my mind, if I get good at those skills, I'm going to make more money. And then I have to look at that and say, no, not for me, not for me, not for me, not for me, not for me. And you just have to like shut your eyes off from everybody that's yelling at you on social media and all these entrepreneur mastermind groups, and just shut it. And then you realize, what the heck can I do repeatedly all day long that I'm not going to get tired? Sit with the CEO and guide them through an entire process of figuring out their business and who they are at the same time. I was like, I have to accept that this is a big part of me, and I have to accept pride and say, let go of all the other stuff that I've done, even though you know that those might be more lucrative. And that's where you're talking about. It's like the best choice for you might not be the most lucrative from a business standpoint. And that's something to accept, that maybe I'm not the person who's meant to be so scalable given my talents. I might have to swallow my pride and say, I might have to do this with somebody else. And that's just the roll of the dice.
Thank you so much for listening to the Selling with Love podcast. We have some previous episodes you can tune into right here. And if you prefer the short form content where you get to the point in under 10 minutes, we do have a ton of clips from our best episodes that are being shared on this channel as well. So pick which one supports you the most. And of course, thank you for liking, subscribing, and of course, selling with love.